Okay, hi everybody. We are here with our week 2 summary. I'm going to walk through the checklist, this document right here you can see on the screen. And I'm going to toggle back and forth to the module for this week, which is right here. And kind of just click through stuff you need to get done this week for week 2. Okay, so first of all, for week 2, you need to read Essentials Children's Literature, Chapter 4, and the Notebooking Connections, Chapters 2 and 3. I know that's a lot in the Notebooking Connections book. Those are kind of long, but read my note here. You're not trying to memorize this material. Just be familiar with it. Use some sticky notes. Okay, then take reading check number 1, which is on Chapters 1 through 3 quiz that you read last week. It is open book and not timed, but you only get one chance to get through it. So make sure you're familiar with the material before you start. Your first blog post is due this next Sunday. So not today, which is the 6th, but next Sunday. It was put in Module 1. Some of you do have it done already, but if you don't, you have until next Sunday to finish that up. Okay, going to our modules, I'll show you that week 1 that I'm talking about. Right here, it's called Introduce Yourself. Right here, this guy, that's what I'm talking about. That's that blog post. Okay, now week 2 shows up on my screen, but not on yours yet. It will launch tomorrow when this video comes out. So by the time you're watching this, this will show, but for right now it looks kind of faint. That's because I haven't published it yet. So this video will be under the tab right here called Week 2 Summary. That's where you'll click each week. You'll get a summary for the week. You'll click on the link, open it up. It'll be a video or a document if for some reason I can't get a video made. Okay, and then you have your reading. Click on Week 2. It will tell you what to read. These things I put to-do dates in, even though there's nothing to turn in. I do that so that it shows up on your list, on your home screen, your dashboard. I did that with last week's video and caused a little confusion. Sorry about that. So the to-dos for some of my items just mean go watch the video. There's not always something to turn in, but I do want it to show up on your list with a date because then it reminds you to get it done. So here's your reading list for this week. So chapter 4, you really need to mark it well, put a bookmark in it. You're going to want to come back to it in your blog post descriptions. You're going to want to look back at chapter 4 and say, what should I be analyzing? What's she talking about when she wants us to analyze these pieces of children's literature? Chapter 4 will help you with that a lot. And then also find at least one of Aesop's fables to read. They come in a collection usually, and there's 15, 20 of them in there. The Lion and the Mouse, the Tortoise and the Hare. All of those little animal fables, those are Aesop fables. They're always called Aesop's fables. So find one somewhere at a library and read them for your reading this week. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the module. Notice I'm using the module tab to click through here. I'm not clicking assignments because if you start clicking through assignments, you're going to be confused. Okay, now each week you're going to get a traditional literature assignment from me on this video or on your module. I'm doing that because traditional literature used to be one of the genres that you did independently in your reading notebook or in your blog, but there's so much reading. I thought we could do this as sort of a class assignment. If we were meeting in person, we would do this in class. So this traditional literature stuff right here, these 2 tabs right here, those consider like your class time stuff. So remember, this is a 3-credit class, so that means you would have about 3 hours of class in person if you were taking this on campus, and about 6 hours of homework. That's what's like the general rule for a 3-credit class. This class uses every minute of that. So kind of look at these traditional literature things like, well, gosh, if I was going to class, that's why I'd be doing this. So you do, though, need to be budgeting about 9 hours a week for this class. Okay, so each week you'll click on whatever traditional literature. This week it's Aesop. You're supposed to have read one also. You click on my tab for Aesop's fables here. And I found a video of one of them being read. It's like reading Rainbow story time. I have a link here for you to read the history of Aesop's fables. And then I need you to start a slideshow called Traditional Tales. And each week you're going to add to the slideshow with whatever sort of traditional tale we're doing that week. So we're going to do African tales and lots of different sorts of traditional tales, and you'll make slides each week. So this assignment right here that has a March 3rd date on it, that's because it's not due till almost at the end of the quarter, but I introduce it here. You start it, you're going to work on it each week, and then in March I will evaluate it. Okay, another assignment for this week is to follow your classmates. So you click here, and you're going to get a link again to that Google Doc down at the bottom. Here's where we're all adding our addresses to our blogs. That link just should be live, so anytime someone makes a change, it should just be current. This is how you go back to WordPress and start following people. There's instructions here for you. And then what I want you to do is click a screenshot or something of this, even take a picture of your screen on your phone and upload it to your computer or however you need to send it to me. So I know you've got a bunch of us on your follow screen. Okay, that assignment won't take long, but it will be fun to be watching everybody's blogs as they get published. It's going to be really interesting to be able to communicate that way. Right, so the big assignment to get started on this week is the library field trip. So it's introduced here, but not due until week 6, because I know some of you work all week and you need to figure out a time to go to the library and take all these notes, take care of this assignment on a weekend. So I've given you some time to get it done, but I went ahead and introduced it here. Gives you all of the specifics for the instructions. And here comes my kitty who wants to be in the video. Hi, kitty. Say hi to the camera, mister. This is Jasper. We have 2 kittens in my house right now, and because it's Sunday, I'm at home with the kittens. So this is Jasper. I'm going to throw it on the floor now. Okay, so back to the library. Here is a place where you can click and print the instructions for that. The rubric is right here. Really use my rubrics. When you click on an assignment and you see a rubric, they are more than just my scoring guide. They're instructions for you. Like, what does she want? What are we supposed to do here for each of these sections? And you'll see that I give points for each section. And, like if it says that section's worth up to 3 points or 4 points or 20 points, that means anywhere between 0 and 20 points could be earned for that section. Or this one's like 0 to 3, 0 to 3. You'll notice in Canvas, speaking about grading for a minute, in Canvas, if you do click on the Assignments tab or the Syllabus tab right over here, this is also on your paper syllabus, but if you click here, you can see that I've weighted your work. Your final projects are 20%, your digital blog is 25%, big chunk of your grade. Okay, so this library field trip falls under course participation, I think. That's where that is. So don't get too hung up on that it's only worth 10 points, because it could be there's only 2 or 3 things in this category and they're worth 20%. So it can be worth a lot more than the points make it look like. I just use even numbers of points to make it easy to score, like 10 or 20 or 30. You want to take a look at this weighting out here on the syllabus if you really want to know like the value of an assignment. All right, so back to module 2, library field trip. Get that started when you can. Then here's your quiz. So the quiz goes live on Monday. It will let you only have 1 attempt, and it does not show you the correct answers until next Monday. So it's due by Sunday, the 13th, but you won't be able to see if you were right or wrong until Monday the 14th. So that's when the answers will be made public. That reason right there is why you cannot miss the deadline for taking the quiz. If you don't take the quiz on time, you're going to get a 0, because by then the answers will have been made public. And this is an online class and I can't control it any other way than doing it that way. Okay, so that's week 2. I hope these videos are helpful. I'm going to throw up a discussion board at some point probably to say, hey, how are you? Checking in. I usually do that in the first couple weeks to make sure you've kind of got a rhythm for how this is going to go. So each week, let's review. You should expect a summary with a video or a document like this Word document right here. This document just says all the stuff I just said on the video. Not really any new information here, I don't think. So you can expect your summary. Your reading will be listed out here. Your genre reading is not typed out each week. I mean, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. But also you're going to want to keep an eye on Appendix A, which is at the back of your syllabus. Some of you got it early in the quarter, so you could get started on the children's literature reading. It looks like, well, I thought I had it right here in front of me. I do. It's in my pile somewhere. Anyways, most of you, oh, here it is. Most of you have seen this guy because you asked for it early and you started your genre reading. Keep an eye on that so you're not getting behind on those. Although those are your blog post entries and there aren't really super hard deadlines about those. I'm a little flexible, but not a lot, because I've had students get behind and then it's a nightmare for everybody. So that's your reading. Each week you'll see this traditional literature assignment here in the center of the screen right now. It'll be someone different next week. This week it's Aesop. There'll be some sort of digital assignment, probably to go out and comment on your classmates' blogs. So I'm going to put mine, I'm going to follow you guys on mine so I can follow and I can start to see the conversation that's happening. And I am so excited. I think the blog is going to be amazing, I hope. Okay, then there's the field trip, and each week I will probably give you some sort of heads up about what the next assignment beside the reading and children's lit blog assignment. So you'll be working on reading through the textbook, your children's lit blog assignment every week, and then some other bigger project from the syllabus. If you want to read ahead and see them all, you can see them, but I will be kind of breaking them down each week for which one's next. And then your quiz. And starting week 3 or week 4, we'll do a short notebooking connections activity out of that textbook, that Amy Buckner textbook. Buckner, I hope I'm saying her name right. We'll be doing some of those together, like on the video, and that will keep us up to date on that. Okay, next week, the big thing I'm going to assign, or not assign, but talk to you about is the DLTA, Directed Listening and Thinking lesson activity. I don't want you to get panicked about that, really. It's just a lesson you teach to kids, a small group, a large group, a niece, a nephew, whatever. You teach it to children, and it's like a read aloud type lesson with a real specific questioning technique that we will go over before you get the assignment. So that's it for this week. I hope you guys are feeling like you can keep caught up with this class. Believe me, I know it's a lot of work, but budget your time. Send me an email if I can help. I'm in Ellensburg on Tuesdays. I know that's not helpful for most of you, but if you need to catch up with me, I'm in Ellensburg on Tuesdays. I'm in Wenatchee office every other day. I teach in the evenings, so you won't get replies from me from emails in the evenings because I'm teaching. But I try to get back to you the next morning, or if it's during the day and I'm sitting in front of my computer, sometimes you can get a 10-minute response. It does happen. All right, so that's it. I will see you in next week's video. Have a good week. Bye-bye.